Hello again. This is the second part. In this part, in the first part, we have talked with Miller about his work, his focus, how we concentrate on things, and some advice from him. So, if you haven't heard about this or that episode, I invite you to listen to, and maybe it will be useful for you and how to achieve your goals, how to focus better on your work. Maybe you can find something interesting there. In this episode, though, we are going to talk about different thing. We are going to talk about my country, about Russia. Ooh, the horrible Russia that everyone hates. No, I'm kidding. Not everyone, but some people definitely do. Miller, how are you?
I'm very good, Tim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You still great. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm great.
Do you hate Russia too? Is Russia a problem for our world? No. No, I'm kidding. We're not going into politics. All right, we're not going into politics. I know that you were in Russia quite a few times. Yeah, so it wasn't your like first time or second time. I think quite a few. How many actually?
4 times.
Four times already. Oh my God, that's
And this summer is going to be 5 times.
yeah. So it will be the fifth. What? So you're going again? You almost go there every year, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, more often than
Every
I
summer.
do. Oh, all right.
Normally people comes to Spain and I go to Russia.
Yeah. Normally people from Russia for their vacations they go to Spain and you go to Russia. Well, why not? Vice versa. Today I wanted to talk about stereotypes, yeah, and stereotypes about Russia or Russian people. I know that, well, you have a Russian girlfriend, so that's why you go to Russia, and you also have Russian friends. I'm included, yeah, and I think you have quite a few. No, you're not. So I think you are quite competent in this question. Before we talk about stereotypes, I'd like to ask you just a question. Before you went to Russia for the first time, what kind of expectation? What did you think of Russia or Russian people?
It's very curious because I used to have some friends from Russia, but well, they were different because they like lived in Spain during many years, so it was different. The behavior from them, but for me, Russia was like in my mind was like some place like a little bit dangerous because of the, for example, for the police, that maybe you can go to some place and the police can catch you and send you to jail because they want.
Right.
For,
Because
for me, it
you're a
was like,
foreigner, or they just want it, or they
yes,
just feel it like throwing you into the jail.
yes. For me, it was like this. Yes, first time I went to there, I was like a little bit scared. Not at all, but a little bit scared. And I thought that it was like that the technology was like older or something like that, because I was thinking about the URSS. But it's very different from it. It's a very advanced, like very advanced country.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for opinion. Well, we have definitely some problems
Yes.
in some questions, but it's not all that bad, right? So it's not all that bad, and in terms of technological advance, it's actually sometimes even much more than here, no, in Europe,
Yes.
in Spain for sure, because Spain, I think, quite behind in many technological things, especially with the government, no, all the supplying things. It's horrible here.
Yes. The
And
public place.
well, okay. Let's now talk about stereotypes. I don't know if you know about the Russian stereotypes, but I found on some website on the internet. I googled, and there are some. I kind of agree and don't agree with them, because I know that they are stereotypes, but I don't agree with them because stereotypes obviously talk about all people. and also sometimes they're wrong because stereotypes based on some period of time which is not relative now. Yeah. So the first one, Miller, the first stereotype that we have: Russians are unfriendly, humorless, and never smile.
Well, it depends of the people, but just there are some people that they are in this way. For example, new Russian people that comes here to Spain that maybe they are not very comfortable with still with the country, so they have this protection to not smiling.
You think it's a protection?
I don't know, but it's very curious because they start to have this to not smiling, but when you, I think it's more like the humor culture. They have like different humor, and when
Right.
you know this humor, they also smile, and they also have a very good humor.
Sense of humor. Yeah, they have a
Yes,
good sense of. So they don't usually smile just to smile. So they smile
yes.
only if it's fun or if they have like a joke, or yeah, then they can smile. Well, I think it's more or less true for most like Russian people or even Slavic people. Yeah, that they don't generally show their emotions in general and smile. All right, the next one. I think you will like this one. Russian women are extremely beautiful and obsessed with posh and glamour.
A llama. What is that?
Glamour.
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 Okay.
Yeah, glamour is
Yes.
when everything is expensive and new things, new iPhone, new that, clothes, fashionable clothes and stuff.
I think that most, well, there are many of them. Yes, I think most of them. Yes.
Okay, this one is true too. No,
Yeah, I
no.
think it's true.
Okay. If they're not obsessed with being like posh or something, but they definitely more, if not pretentious, but definitely they like this kind of style more than maybe some other women from other cultures. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
they
totally
maybe
true.
even don't think about like wearing like high heels or wearing some everyday new clothes and stuff. No, that's makeup always. No, that's always in makeup, more or less. It's always winter in Russia. It's
Ah,
always cold. It's always snow and horrible weather.
totally false. But it depends on the place in Russia. Russia is truly big. You go to Siberia, it's true. But did you go to Moscow, to Volgograd? Volgograd is very hot in summer. It's very hot. It's even hotter than here in Spain.
In
So
Volgograd.
yes, in Volgograd is even hotter than here in Spain.
Really? Oh, I don't. I didn't know that. I haven't been there actually. I haven't been. I've been to. Where have I been to? In the south? Have I been to? I've been to Crimea. All right, I've been to Crimea,
Crimea.
and
Wow.
it actually was very beautiful. I definitely recommend you to visit. Maybe one day. Yeah, maybe one day. It's very beautiful there. The sea is not as good as Balearic for sure, but the view is incredible. Yeah, the views there they're incredible. The next one we have: Russians drink vodka like water, and beer is considered a non-alcoholic beverage.
It's true. Nah, it's false. Nah, it's false. It's false. Well, it's, no. Normally, people don't drink too much vodka. Normally, they drink other kind of alcohol, like for example, uh, I I can't remember the name.
like
Well, or wine or
whiskey,
something,
like
or
whiskey or brandy
whiskey.
or whatever.
Yes, brandy, for example. But normally they don't
Champagne,
drink.
maybe no, the wine. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
almost everything, but not vodka.
not everything but vodka. No, everything but
Yes,
vodka.
it's
Right.
very curious. Yeah.
But actually, in Russia, yeah, maybe like people here, experts, we really don't. drink that much vodka. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe. But actually, in Russia, people really drink vodka. Maybe not as much as people think that, oh, Russian vodka, beer, and so on. No, so but people actually drink vodka much more, and they can drink it like just shot of vodka, and which in Europe people don't do that. No, if you drink vodka, you usually drink in a cocktail to with something. No, you don't really drink just shot of vodka, do you?
Normally not. Well, sometimes yes, but it's not normal to drink a shot of vodka.
Yeah.
If you drink a shot, you drink a shot of tequila or something like that.
Oh, okay. Dangerous. Dangerous. I think I prefer. I prefer. Well, I don't drink now. As don't no, we don't drink now. There we can talk
No, we
about
don't
this.
drink.
I think I would prefer still vodka to tequila, not because of taste, just because I know that after vodka I won't do anything stupid, and after tequila I definitely will do. so, so it's
It's
kind of
very
more
dangerous.
safe option. Russia has a massive problem with corruption.
Well, in politics, yes, I think it's true. But in the everyday, when you go there, you don't see that.
And
It's,
and it's actually true. I think these days it's kind of changed a lot, because I remember days when it was like, well, I'm old enough to remember when it was all corrupted. So you go to a doctor, you need to bribe a doctor. You go to school, you need to bribe your teacher. You need to bribe everywhere. No, to if you want something, good, or things get done. Yeah, and these days you don't really bribe anyone. Yeah, and if there is a corruption, it's somewhere
yes, it's in
high
the
up.
higher order.
It's somewhere there, which we don't know about. Well, I like this one, the next one, and I think. What do you think about this? I don't know if you talked, because I know that we talked about politics with you. I don't know if you talked about politics with other people, and Russians quite like to talk about politics, actually. So maybe you did. Yeah? So all Russians, despite everything, are communist at heart.
Are communist at heart?
Yes.
Totally false.
Right, yeah, because
Yeah, they're not communist.
there is some kind of misconception of Russians that they are all communist, or that they still love their, like, oh, Stalin, he was a good leader and stuff, no?
Yeah, maybe old people they have these like that these memories about communism, but normally the young people or people less than 50 years old or 60 years old,
Don't
they
believe
don't
in
see it.
don't
No.
believe in that. Okay, so this one is wrong. What about the next one? Russian are extremely superstitious. For some listeners who don't know, could you explain what is superstition? Yeah, what is superstition?
Well, that they do something like, well, for example, there is a black cat that they pass from the right, and it means that you're going to have a very bad luck.
Yes, yeah, this is a superstition. Yeah.
Well,
So
I think that I am not sure of that about that because, well, I met many Russian girls because they are friends from my girlfriend, so I know that they are very superstitious, but I don't know about men because normally they don't talk about that.
right. But I think it's actually true. I think it's actually true. Maybe younger people, well, they are not that superstitious, but still we have this kind of, I think, yeah, I think me too. Yeah, I become less superstitious, and well, I try not to be actually too much superstition, but still we have some kind of weird things when you, uh, yeah, I think with years now, I don't really care about many things. Even the black cat, I don't care, but some people, especially older people, or they have these things that, yeah, black cat, it's bad luck. If you break the mirror, it's like 7 years
Well,
of bad luck,
yes,
and so on. Yeah, so maybe it's not about Russians, but the whole like older generation. No, I think,
the generation, yes.
yeah, in Spain people also superstitious, or maybe like some older.
Yeah, when yes, all people maybe yes.
Yeah,
I think it's the same, almost
is
the
it?
same.
So, but it's not about Russians, no. Here, it's do you know any kind of superstition from Colombia, from your native country, maybe
Oh,
some
well,
weird, something different from like Spain or Russia.
something different. I can't remember. There are things like about spirits. For example, if you go to a graveyard, if you take a look in your behind, you're going to see a anima that is like a spirit. It's something about that. And there is also another things, but I don't know if it's superstitious or maybe more like folklore stories.
Hmm.
That, for example, if there is a guy with a ring that goes through the graveyard, all the spirits are walking behind this guy. These kind of things.
Wow, wow, interesting. Okay, and you could notice it, no? You can see some people,
Notice what the spirits
the
or
spirits, yeah, or how
yeah,
they,
it's supposed.
it's like
That
all right, all right. Okay, the next one on the list we have Russian possess a mysterious soul. Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard. Yeah, that's but we have kind of some. Well, at least Russians say they especially like the yeah they possess and nobody else. Have you ever heard about this?
I
No.
no, I didn't heard about that. I
Well,
haven't.
usually Russians talk about this, or and they kind of show off or boast that we have like some particular soul that nobody has. Yeah, that and it's very deep emotionally. Yeah, that's and it's like some books like by Dostoevsky or Tolstoy. Yeah, then when you read these kind of
Hmm.
books, you kind of open a door to this soul, and this it's so deep and so mysterious that nobody knows, and only Russian can understand. Right? I don't know. Well, I don't really believe in this, so so
Well, what is true is that normally Russian they don't speak with anyone that they like meet. Like for example, people from Latin America or here in Spain, that they can like have friends with one day that they met. For example, this guy. For Russian people, it's more difficult to trust in someone. But when they trust in someone, they can like show all the emotions, show all their thoughts. So when you have a Russian friend, you can know very well this Russian friend. But for example, when you have normally it's a stereotype. When you have a Latin American friend, it doesn't mean that you are going to know in deep your
indeed,
friend.
or you can rely on this person. Yeah, it's also it
Yes,
doesn't mean that you can rely. Well, generally, yeah, but also we
yes, in
won't
general, always in
generalize, yeah,
general.
because Russians also are different. Yeah, they also can be unreliable, or they can also lie and stuff. But we if yeah, the mostly, yeah, that if usually yes, if we have friends, if like if we Russians consider someone a friend, so this like we open up to this people to this person to these people, and you usually can rely on us. Yeah, that we can rely on each other. That's why friends are no. That's we can rely, and I don't know,
Yes, no, that's
yeah,
true. Because, for
do each other
example,
a favor or something. Yeah. Well, let's have the last one. Yeah. What do you think? I have okay. I have two last ones, so we can actually finish the whole list. Russians have a complete distrust of the law, and many have mafia connections.
well, that's false. But
It's false. Well, the first part not. No, the first part not.
well, no, yes, the first part they because they say that the laws are to break them.
Yes, yeah. We even have a proverb. We have a proverb. Yeah, that's. We also have another one. The strictness of law compensates or by not doing it. Yeah, that's by not completing it. So the law can be strict, but it's compensated that we cannot complete this law. No, that we don't do that, and it's okay. No. Well, and the last one. Russian brides, Russian girls are a major Russian export. Russia exports many girls out there, you know, and everyone wants a Russian wife.
Mm, why? Yes. Well, for example, in Latin America, they really like the Russian girls. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, in Europe, I think people do like Russian girls too, no? Yeah.
Yes, in Europe, yeah, but they have a different culture from there, so they don't have too much like a match with Russian girls.
Hmm.
It's more difficult to them to have a match because there is a different culture from Russia. I think Latin American people have like a more similar culture with Russia.
Right. Well, I think it's also in terms of maybe some kind of government issue, or that's the distrust of law. Yeah, this also things and the how things done. Well, okay. That's I think that is it. So mostly we agree or we don't agree with these stereotypes.
Well,
Or
I agree. I think mostly agree.
mostly it's true. All right, all right. Well, they're not that horrible, is it? What would if someone visits Russia for the first time, what do you think would surprise them the most?
What would surprise the most?
Yeah, like these days.
I think that when you try to know their language, for example, you try to speak in Russia just a little, just to say "привет" or something like that. They are very very friendly, very friendly because they like people that they are trying to communicate with them. They
Right.
like foreign people that tries to communicate with them.
Like making an effort, at least a
Yes,
little bit of effort to communicate. And also maybe sometimes they don't know another language, yeah. So it's the only way to communicate, That's you.
yes, true. It's very curious because there is this stereotype that they don't smile, and well, in the most of the time, it's true. But when they are there in Russia, they don't know English, they don't know Spanish. So when you try to communicate with them in Russian language, they really like it, and they are very friendly when you makes this effort.
For sure, for sure. We do appreciate. We do appreciate. Well, to be honest, I think it's in every country. If you come to any country,
Hmm.
no, well, maybe not France, huh? All right, maybe not, except France. Yeah, with their. So in any other country, I think, or most of them, if you try to speak like local language, yeah, the people usually genuinely more friendly. The same here in Spain. It's kind of take it for granted here because Spanish people kind of expect you to speak Spanish because there's so many foreigners here, and they kind of like have to learn. And if you, oh, you can't speak Spanish, you can't speak Spanish. It's kind of unimaginable thing. You have to speak Spanish. How you can't speak Spanish? Okay, but in Russia, people don't expect. If you're a foreigner, they don't expect you to speak Russian. Yeah, they don't expect. And if you speak, they are just amazed. Oh my God, you speak Russian, and everyone will be friendly and behind your knees. That's for sure.
Yes, it's true.
All right, Mila, thank you for your time, and it was lovely as always. Have a great day today,
Thank you very
and
much, Tim.
yeah, that's it.
It was a pleasure.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mila. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Tim.